Hey everyone, what's up? In this video, I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of people have been asking me, especially people who want to get into UI UX design. And from all my conversations that I've been having with a lot of designers, this is the number one misconception that beginners have when getting into the field of UI UX design. And what this misconception does is it stops a lot of people from getting into the field because they think they're not ready for it. So I really want to clear this because I think this will help a lot of people. What this misconception also does is it makes you feel less confident. It makes you feel underconfident because you feel like you're doing something wrong. So hopefully this video gives you a good idea of what this misconception exactly is. And I hope this helps you. So for those of you who are tuning in for the first time on my channel, my name is Abhinav. I'm the founder of 10K Designers. I was previously the head of design at Unacademy, and I help people get into UI UX design and level up their careers. So this biggest misconception I want to talk about today is about the topic of design degrees. Do you really need a design degree? What's really the difference between designers from design school and self-taught designers? And what do employers look for hiring? Is this going to be a problem for you if you don't have a design degree, or if you have any other degree, or if you're dropping out of college? So in this video, I'm going to highlight all of those things, and I'm going to hopefully give you enough of a perspective. This perspective is from me. I've worked in the design industry for about 8 years now. I've hired a lot of designers. I've interviewed hundreds of designers. So I can give you this perspective from a lot of different angles. Do you need a design degree? The simple answer is no. You do not need a design degree. UI UX design is a field that is not licensed. So when you look at careers, there's a lot of careers which are licensed. So for example, to be a doctor, to actually be let's say a lawyer. These are all professions, or even a chartered accountant. These are professions that need licensing, right? Not everybody can become one unless they go through the proper process. However, with UI UX design, with programming, with a lot of these new fields, the demand is just so high for good designers that companies don't look at your degree. They don't look at your GPA. They don't look at what college you've gone to, as long as you have a good portfolio and case studies. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But what I want to talk about is what really is then the difference between somebody who has a design degree and somebody who doesn't have one, someone who's a self-taught designer. So let me talk about my experience. I am a completely self-taught designer. What I mean by that is my degree was in computer science, and UI UX design sort of related, but not covered in college at all. While I was in college, I realized that, hey, I don't want to be a programmer. I want to do something else. And that's when I sort of figured out that something called UI UX design exists. Since then, I've had the opportunity to work at companies with teams that have had self-taught designers as well as people from design school. So for example, when I was at housing.com, I got the chance to work with both kinds of people. And the biggest difference that I've seen is that when hiring for a role, companies don't look at whether you have a degree or not. They look at your case studies and portfolio. I'll talk about what exactly those are. And the main difference that comes in mindset of somebody who's from design school versus somebody who's from, a self-taught background is that somebody who's from design school is taught a lot about process. Design school teaches you so much about the perfect, correct process for doing things that when you join a startup, you realize, hey, stuff is going so fast here. Things happen at such a fast pace. I don't have the time to apply my design process that I've been taught at school. Versus if you're self-taught, you are more of a hustler. You've either done freelancing, you've done self-initiated projects, and you fit into the general culture of a startup or a fast-growing company much easier. So that's one of the main differences. And that doesn't mean that people from design school can't get over that hurdle. Once they get some work experience, they do sometimes adjust to it. But I want to just tell you this, that if you are a self-taught designer without a design degree, you're not actually at a disadvantage. You have a big advantage, which is being a self-taught designer, you had to do things by yourself. And companies today, startups as well as bigger companies, look for people who are motivated, somebody who is a self-starter. That's something that people really value a lot. So what employers look for, not your degree, not your GPA, not your college, your portfolio and your case studies. Now, I will make a separate video about what portfolios are, what to put in a portfolio, the ingredients in a perfect case study, how exactly should you structure a case study. All of these are things that we cover in the 10K Designers Masterclass as well. And I will be making some videos about that. But I do want to tell you that a resume will not get you hired if you're a self-taught designer or even if you're from design school. The thing that will get you hired, however, is a portfolio, and a portfolio typically contains a bunch of case studies. Now, each case study can be a project that you did. It can be a part of a project. It can be a self-initiated project, it can be a hackathon, it can be an internship, it can be a job, it can be a freelance project that you've done. All of these, a case study is where you're talking about your process and you're explaining it to them. This helps employers see your thinking and your design process behind things. And that is really useful for them to imagine what it would be like to work with you. So that's the number one thing you need to do if you want to get hired. What I'll also do is let me show you the perspective of some of our students and some of our mentors. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll 2 clips for you. The first one is going to be by Sagar. Sagar was an engineering student. He enrolled in the cohort 2 of the 10K Designers Masterclass, and he got a job as a product designer at Toppr.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. When you were interviewing with the companies, at any point did you feel that the companies would prefer if you had a design degree?
No, they didn't even ask about my degree. They only, care about the skills you have. And yeah, that's all.
Could you repeat that again? I didn't get it.
Okay. No, they didn't ask about my degree at all. Yeah.
Okay.
They only care about your skills and, the case studies that you have and how strong is your portfolio. Yes.
And in this next video, we're going to be talking to Mayank. Mayank is one of the mentors at 10K Designers, and he currently works as a product designer at CRED. And he is an engineer turned product designer. So he talks a little bit about how his experience was like when he was interviewing at CRED.
And Mayank, what about you, bro? When you applied for CRED, did they ask you about your degree? Was it a factor?
Okay, firstly, I like how you subtly got Sagar to repeat and emphasize on the fact that you don't need it. But yeah, no, I was not asked if I have a design degree. I was not even asked what kind of a degree I have. What I was asked is what kind of skills do I have? What are my skill sets? What projects have I done? And questions related to my project, right? And then additional questions I was asked was that why do you want to work at CRED? Where do you see yourself? And similar related questions. But no questions were asked regarding the degree.
So hopefully that clears up the biggest misconception people have. I've actually made a list of the top 5 misconceptions people have when it comes to UI UX design. I couldn't cover all of those in this video. I only covered the top one. But if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description. Just click that link, follow the instructions, and I'll email it out to you and you can check that entire thing out. That is it for today. If you want to check out more videos, I'm going to be uploading them on this channel as well as on my Instagram. So see you soon somewhere else on the internet. Bye-bye.